Hi guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the brand new Android Firebase tutorial, and today in this video we are going to write the first ever code of the Firebase inside our activity file. So that will be pretty much great, and I'm also excited about that. So what we are going to do in this video is that we are going to write something inside our Android app, sending that into the Firebase server, and they will be able to see our changes almost instantly on the server. So now let's go to the Android app. So you can see it is simply just blank, there is nothing on the app. So what we have to do is that we have to just give a space for writing, and we have to give a button to make sure written data has been sent. So what I'm going to do is that first off I'm going to add a plain text, which is going to be the edit text, and setting it into the sender. So the next thing is that I want to add a button. Okay, so now bringing it into the sender. Now going to the text, now we have the ID as the edit text and the button as the button itself, simply giving a changes. Okay, so as you can see right now I have a button and a edit text. So now what we have to do is that we have to give the reference to each of the item inside the main activity, and now let's start writing the Firebase once we have done this. So I'm going to add the reference. Okay, now I have added the reference for the edit text and the button inside the onCreate method. So next I want to bring the edit text value into a string, so that must be done. So string, now bringing the value into the string, so my string data get text. So we actually discussed about this in the tutorial from the Android app development series, so just in case if you haven't watched that, then you can watch it over here. Okay, so the next thing is that we have to just add the reference for the Firebase, and we have to connect our project into the Firebase, and just transfer the edit text value when the button is clicked into the server. So first off, we know that it is a database tutorial, so let's go to the website. So we have the Firebase website and we have the project which is called Firebase app. Just opening that. Okay, so now what we have to do is that first off we have to go to this database. So we're actually discussing about the database, and the reason why I skipped the authentication, storage or anything and simply just choosing the database is just because the database can be considered as a first step, and it is only taking less number of codes to write. So once you have the idea about the database and how the codes work, then it will be pretty much easy to teach you all the other things like the authentication, storage and the notification and things like that. So right now as you can see we have the database, and as of now the Firebase have been updated and the UI of the Firebase has been updated, and also we have a new thing called Cloud Firestore. So we'll be discussing this maybe in the later, which is actually a beta version as of now. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to this default real-time database, so clicking on the get started. So the first thing is first we have to change some rules. So you can see we have the data, rules, backup and usage. So let's go to the rules now. So as you can see here we have some JSON, like some database structure. So right now what we have to do is that you can see it is reading and writing. So the reading access is right now the permission is only for the people who has logged into your Android app. So just in case if you are a guest and if you don't want to log in, then there is no way that you can update the database from your Android app. So right now what we have to do is that we have to simply change this not equal to into equal to, and same applies to the writing. So once you're done we have to simply click on this publish. So this was actually really important, and just in case if you haven't changed that, then it's clear that you are not going to see any changes inside the database once you do the things inside the Android app. So you can see this is our project and this is our app. You can call it anything as you wish. So when you click on this plus, this is called add a child, and here goes the name of your child and here goes the value of your child. So we'll be discussing this once we have written every single line in the Android Studio and after running the Android app in the Android device. So Now let's go back, and the first thing is first, what we have to do is that we have to add the database dependency inside the build Gradle file, and also we have to add the client for the Firebase in order to get the Firebase inside the main activity. So what we have to do is simply go to these tools, then go to the Firebase. So before doing these things, make sure that you have updated your Android Studio into the latest version, and also the Google Play service inside the SDK. And once you're done, let's go. What we have to do next thing is that we have to simply find the database, which is called as Realtime database. So if you want, then you can read the documentation and from here. So another thing is that you have to make sure that you have logged into your Firebase account inside this Android Studio. So you can simply click on here and just log in if you haven't done before. Now once that's done, you have to simply go to this Realtime database and click on the save and retrieve data. So actually your application will be connected right now. So once you log in, it will be going to connect automatically, and just in case if you have this set up, then click on that and it will take you through the website. Then you have to simply apply, or you have to give the permission for the Firebase to use your account for sending and receiving data. And once that's done, you will be finding that it is completed or it is connected. So the next thing is that we have to add the dependency. So click on the add real-time database to your app, and that will add this new line. So simply click on the accept changes, and now when you're going to this app level Gradle file, you will find there is a new line. So right now we have the Firebase, which is actually available in the 11.6.0. so I'm going to change it. So in the meantime, we have to add one more dependency, which is actually the Firebase client. So we have to simply paste it here. So I just copied it before and it was in my clipboard, and all we have to do is that you can simply copy it from here. You can pause the video and copy it from here, and if you want, you will be finding this in the Firebase documentation website. Okay, now once you're done, we have completed the part inside Gradle. Now let's close that. So the next thing is that we have to add the reference for the Firebase, and we have to bring it into this main activity. So I'm going to add the Firebase here. So Firebase, then my Firebase, that's done. So the first thing is that we have to add the instance. So Firebase dot set Android context, and that is going to be like, if you're in the stable activity, then you can use it as main activity dot this, or your activity name dot this, or simply this is just enough. And just in case if you're adding this Firebase inside a activity that has a fragment layout, then you will have to add the context as get activity or get application context or the view. So in my case, I'm in the stable activity, so I'm going to use it as this. And just in case if this is not working, then you can replace this with the main activity or your application name dot this, and that will be pretty much okay to go. So the next thing is that we have to connect our Firebase with the Firebase project inside the Firebase Console. So to do that, what we have to do is that we have to add the my Firebase, then equal to, then new, then Firebase, and in the bracket you have to give the URL. So you will be finding your project URL inside the Firebase, and in the easy way you can find it just by going to this project, and there will be this app folder, and we already copied this Google JSON file. Open that, and there will be your Firebase URL. Simply copy that. So once you copy it, go back and you have to paste it here. Now close that. Now we have connected our Android app with the Firebase website. So I'm going back to this Android view. So the next thing is that we have to make sure the internet connection is enabled. So use permission, then internet, then closing it. So once you're done, what you have to do next thing is that we have to add the button, my apply button, then set one-click listener, then new one-click listener. So we have to make the changes when the button is actually clicked. So Firebase, then give this name as my new child, equal to, now we have to get our firstly created the main Firebase variable, which is actually this my Firebase. So my Firebase, then dot child. Now in the bracket we have to give a name for our child, which is going to be child name. I want to give it as child name. So using this object, which is this child, we are going to give a value, or we are going to give different kind of value for that child. So the next thing is that we have to add my child, my new child, then set value, and that is going to be the value from the edit text, that is my string data. Okay, so if you want to see the changes when the button is clicked, it may be like just giving it a toast and child updated with then my string data. So right now when the app is getting started, then it will be going to call this onCreate, in which we have this Firebase, and it will be going to connect the application with the Firebase project inside the Firebase console. And once it is connected, it is ready to go. We have also enabled the internet connection before connecting and every single thing. So when the user type anything inside the edit text and when the button is clicked, it will be going to create a child with the name as child name itself, and the value will be something that we have given inside the edit text. And once that done, it will be going to say that the child updated with the name that we have given inside the edit text. Okay, so we have to bring this into here. So otherwise what will happen when the button is clicked is that it will be not going to get the data into the string from the edit text. So we have to add this line inside the one click. So if you're following me and if you're doing this thing right now as the time I'm actually doing, then you can just cut that line from here and paste it inside the one click method. So we have to do one more thing after just moving the string, that is to simply change this text and remove it from here. And instead of that, we can even give a hint under child value. So there's going to be a hint, and make sure that you have removed the text from here, otherwise there will be some kind of issue. So once we have done, now let's go and try this in a real Android device. Okay, so we have the app and nothing, there is no any changes or anything you can see right now on the screen. So what I'm going to do is that inside the app I'm going to write in the edit text. So once I'm done, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to click the apply button, and blam, you can see we have the changes over here. Now I'm going to change the my child value into something another, and now I'm going to press the apply, and you can see we have a toast message, and instantly the data has been updated in the Firebase console. So if you're new to this channel, then hit that subscribe button, and if you like this video, then give it a big thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Peace out.